Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. The U.S. gaming industry engages 164 million users. Sara, Mehle, ESG index strategist with Nasdaq Global Indexes, joins me to discuss how investors can gain exposure to video gaming developers and publishers. Sara, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Hey, Jill, great to be here. Great to see you.
All right. You got it. And let's take a look at the Player 2, the Nasdaq CTA Video Games Index. Tell us, give us an overview of what that index is about.
First, this is one of our newer indexes that we're really excited to partner with CTA, which is the Consumer Technology Association. This particular index is the Nasdaq CTA Global Video Game Software Index. So it's really going to focus on those developers and publishers that design and create video games. So looking here just at those specific those developers, and we're looking here at those names that CTA is categorizing within that particular subsector. So again, excited to partner with them. This index launched back on August 10th of this year, so it is relatively new. Is a modified market cap weighted index with semi-annual reconstitutions and quarterly rebalances. We have some of the liquidity rules, so new index additions must have a minimum market cap of 500 million and a three-month daily average traded volume of 1 million. So it is looking at those larger names, and they must not be categorized as a social casino gaming company. But again, looking at those that are focused in those video games.
And I mentioned at the top, the U.S. gaming industry engages 164 million users. Help us break down the demographics of that user base.
Yes, we have some interesting research published from CTA. Just looking at, again, the gaming industry engages 164 million users in the U.S. across virtually every demographic. The revenue is estimated to increase to 54 billion next year. And also, we've just seen advances in cloud computing and streaming services for games. We're looking at 62 million, or 37% of gamers, are looking forward to advances in technology and specifically looking at the metaverse. So, despite the recent performance, which we'll get into, gaming really does remain a fast-growing industry here on the way to maturity.
What about index composition? What companies are in there and what regions do they come from?
Sure. So we have 38 stocks in this particular index. We have names that you might recognize, like Nintendo, one of the oldest gaming companies, with about 17 or 18% of the index, looking at names like Roblox, Electronic Arts, Take-Two Interactive. Those are some of the US-based companies that might sound familiar. The top 10 account for 61% of the total index weight. The largest single country weighting here comes from Japan, 42%. And the Asia Pacific region accounts for 57% of the index. And it is, again, mostly a large cap index. And I will say that this particular index does not have any China or Russia exposure.
Interesting to know. And let's wrap up here. Let's talk about index performance. We know these are largely technology names that are in here, and we know how the tech sector has performed for 2022. So tell us how this particular index performed, and what if investors want to get exposure to it?
Yeah, so we have performance going back, like I said, to August 10th of this year. So not a huge time frame, but over that time frame, again, since inception through yesterday's close, the index is down, but we are seeing it outperform two competitor indexes, so the Selective Hero Esports Index, as well as MV Espo. So again, outperformance there of at least 262 bips. And then just looking back to performance starting in October, Player 2 is up about 3.9%, so it is outperforming the broader market if we're looking at the Nasdaq 100 by 50 basis points. So we are starting to see some of the performance, kind of step up here with the recent market rally. And for those looking to gain exposure, this index is tracked by the Round Hill Video Games ETF, symbol NERD or NERD.
I have to give the issuers credit for when they do name these ETFs. Appreciate the insight as always. Sara, thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.